Why, hello, you amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Tuesday. How are all of my wonderful Swifties doing today? So, this one's been recommended quite a lot recently, and I think it is about time we finally do it. Also, my voice is a lot better today, in case you didn't, you can notice, right? We're not quite 100%. My voice is still a bit squeaky, but we are getting there. We are getting there. A couple more days, and I might be back to my usual loud, shouty self. So, I've been told, so we've already reacted to Betty, but I've been told that Cardigan, Betty, and August are all part of a trilogy which all center around the same love triangle. Now, we already know the story of Betty. It's a brilliant freaking song. I love the energy of it. I love the writing of Betty. But the idea of how brilliant Betty's written, that there are two other songs that are from the perspective of the two other people in that story, one of which, the girl who, picks him up, we literally hear nothing about, I find so curious. And apparently these three songs all center around that love triangle. So that sounds absolutely incredible in terms of writing. So I'm very curious about this. So we're going to check them all out today. Make sure you put all your recommendations in the comment section down below. How I am now deciding what I do on Fridays and Tuesdays is simply reading the comments. That's literally it. So whatever you guys recommend, that's what I will be reacting to. So put your recommendations down below. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy these reactions. Maybe one day we can get a gold plaque up on that wall. And let's jump into my first time ever reaction to Taylor Swift, Cardigan. So I think the only one I've heard is Betty, but I might have heard some of these live, and I guess we'll see.
Vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on, cobblestones. When you are young, they assume you know nothing.
God, I really like this opening.
Sequin smile, black lipstick, sensual politics.
You know what's really interesting? I'm going to try and focus heavily on the lyrics on these videos as well today, more so than I usually do. I assumed that because Cardigan and August are also in the same love triangle that Betty is, and we've heard Betty, I assumed that they would be the same sounding. They would all sound quite similar, as if they were all one really long song. But Cardigan sounds completely different from Betty.
When you are young, they assume you know nothing.
God, her videos are just incredible.
But I knew you dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light. I knew you, hand under my sweatshirt, baby, kiss it better right. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite.
Come on. Come on. What the actual fuck is the deal with Taylor's music videos? What the hell? They are ridiculous. Does she come up with all the ideas to them? Her brain is insane. Her imagination is actually crazy. Imagine just taking a walk in Taylor's mind. I imagine it's the equivalent of walking through Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It's just it colors and crazy and everything. Look at this. Look at this freaking scene. Look at this. Climbing out of a piano, from the chair, coming in this. What are we? It looks like a scene from Avatar.
Was your favorite.
It's insane.
A friend to all is a friend to none. Chase two girls, lose the one. When you are young, they assume you know nothing.
Smiling as well.
But I knew you playing hide and seek.
I love how the waterfall's coming out the piano.
I knew you, your heartbeat on the high line, once in 20 lifetimes. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite.
God, what a beautiful video as well. So I'm trying to work out which perspective each song comes from. We already know Betty comes from the boy. I can't remember his name. I do apologize. Might struggle a little bit on the names here. This one I think comes from based on the lyrics so far, I would guess this comes from the third girl, right? The outside girl from this relationship, the one who picks him up. And the reason I would say that is just based on the chorus, you know, like the girl feeling like no one really wants her, but then this, you know, he's picked her out, like this Cardigan, and said that she was her favorite, and it made her feel like special. It doesn't make her sound like the girlfriend, it makes her more sound like the third wheel. I can't think of a better way to put it. So that's my guess, but I might be wrong there, because there was another line earlier about chasing two girls and losing the one that made me think this could also be from the girlfriend's perspective. So I'm not sure. Not yet, anyway.
To kiss in cars and downtown bars was all we needed.
Her voice sounds beautiful.
Stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding.
Oh, I love that like smoky tone on this.
I knew you, stepping on the last train, marked me like a bloodstain. I knew you, tried to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy. I knew you.
The piano again.
Even like a father, running like water. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. But I knew you'd linger like a tattoo kiss. I knew you.
I love the one thing as well, when we check out so many behind the scenes stuff of Taylor's videos, I love how involved she is in the music videos. Like this scene, I already have no doubt in my mind she's like how much of it is actually practical. And like, I could be wrong, but knowing Taylor, I imagine so much of the scene is actually practical. She has like a love for like the practical effects, and she is not afraid to just get like down and dirty, quite literally, like we've seen with Into the Woods when it comes to making these videos.
But I knew you'd linger like a tattoo kiss. I knew you'd haunt all over my what ifs. The smell of
Oh, what
smoke
an amazing video.
this long, 'cause I knew everything when I was young. I knew I'd curse you for the longest time, chasing shadows in the grocery line. I knew you'd miss me once the thrill expired, and you'd be standing in my front porch lot, and I knew you'd come back to me.
Oh!
You'd come back to me, and you'd come back to me.
It's the girlfriend.
You come back. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite.
You know what's amazing is how much of her live, like, her live performances God. What's the deal with this ending, by the way? Why does it sound like this? Is there like something extra here? I was going to say, I knew the live, it's amazing how much the live performances are close to the videos. Not with Cardigan, but just in general, how much like practical effect from like the music videos we've seen her take to the stage. Because you wouldn't even think it would be possible, but somehow she pulls it off. It's crazy. It's crazy and so impressive how she does it. Special thank you to our on-set medics, COVID-19 compliance personnel, and the crew operating under the strictest guidelines. Ah. Is there something special around the outro here? Like the song, is there something special around it? The way it sounds and stuff? It just sounds a bit unusual. I don't know if there's something special to it. Oh my word, I couldn't work out from the lyrics of the song. I'm sorry if I missed some lines. I do apologize. I was really trying to like analyze it as best I could. But I really also... I'm not like an analytical reactor. That's not what I do here. I really try and like immerse myself emotionally into the music I'm reacting to. That's what this channel is about. I feel like the whole point in everything I do, whether it's an anime video or a song reaction or anything I react to, my whole idea is to immerse myself in it. You know, like that's what I try and do, is like to feel the emotions of it. So I try and not get too lost in the breaking down, analyzing the lyrics, because I feel like when you do that, it can take you away from the actual beauty of a song, you know? like, with me, I feel like there's so much beauty in a music, not just in the lyrics, but just how the song's been arranged, composed, and put together. And I just try and just like fall into it. You know, like it's like I'm just falling into a swimming pool and just like letting it all wash over me and just feel every second of it. That's what I try and feel. But I wanted to make sure that if we're doing this love triangle and it's free from perspectives, all intelligently written, I took a lot of appreciation for the lyrics. So I do apologize if I missed things, but I do my best to pick them up. But honestly, even focusing as much as I couldn't tell whose perspective this was from until the end. Once the thrill had ended, it wasn't the thrill of their relationship, it was the thrill of the other relationship, the other woman, the other girl. And then like I knew you'd be in my porch, like coming back to me once again, literally how Betty ends too, which is what we're going to jump into and react to now. Even though we've heard it before, I wanted to make sure we did all three of them together just so we could really see like the awesomeness of this triangle that everyone's told me. And even though we reacted to Betty, I thought if we're gonna do Cardigan in August, we need to do Betty again, right? We need to have everything click together. So let's jump into Betty again. Let's do it. I do also want to just say Cardigan was nothing like what I thought it was gonna be like. I thought it was gonna be like this.
Betty, I won't make
very country.
assumptions about why you switched your homeroom, but I think it's 'cause of me.
So Cardigan is from Betty's perspective, right? Cardigan's from Betty's perspective. Okay. And this is from our boy's perspective, whose name I don't know, don't remember. So so we've got the two perspectives back to back here.
Betty, one time I was riding on my skateboard when I passed your house. It's like I couldn't breathe. You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe a word she says most times, but this time it was true.
Yeah, I thought Cardigan would be like this.
Thing that I ever did was what I did to you.
You know what's weird is this song is like, it's not a happy song, but the chorus feels happy, but it's not a happy song. It's crazy how Taylor manages to pull that off.
But if I just showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself? Or lead me to the garden? In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? I'm only 17, I don't know anything, but I know I miss you.
God, I love this song.
Betty, I know where it all went wrong. Your favorite song was playing from the far side of the gym.
I'm really just immersed in the story of this like with Betty, like because I've heard Betty twice before. I know the song like fairly well. I'm now just here for the freaking story. I know I keep saying it, but I honestly thought it was going to be like, oh, like Cardigan was going to sound just like Betty. I really love how Cardigan sounded, but it just threw me off by how different it was from Betty. I thought it was going to be like very country-esque. Cardigan sounded so different, so amazing, so different. I can't believe how we have like these like two like different perspectives, but the songs sound worlds apart. It's crazy.
I was nowhere to be found. I hate the crowds, you know that. Plus I saw you dance with him. You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe a word she says most times, but this time it was true. The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. But if I just showed up at your party.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean about this? It's not a happy song. You know, if we're being blunt, the song is about a boyfriend cheating on a girlfriend and then going back to the girlfriend and whether or not she's going to accept him back after what he's done, which is wrong. And of course, she's completely within her right if she wants to forgive him or not forgive him. It's 100% up to her. No other parties involved have a say. It's all her say. But it's not a nice situation. But for some reason, I don't know if I'm crazy in this, the chorus of Betty always feels weirdly hopeful, optimistic, and like happy and beautiful. for a song that, when you actually think about it, is not a happy song. It's so bizarre for me, to me. It's brilliant. It's like a brilliant contradiction.
Would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself? Or lead me to the garden? In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you.
See what I mean? It just feels like such a happy song. I'm smiling. I feel warm and gooey, even though it's not a happy song.
I was walking home on broken cobblestones, just thinking of you when she pulled up like a figment of my worst intentions. She said,
James,
get in, let's
James.
ride." Those days turned into nights, slept next to her, but I dreamt of you all summer long.
I am so curious to hear the perspective from this third girl. So curious. Do you know what is crazy? This isn't even a real story, is it? This is a story that Taylor's created. And I'm sitting here like some fucking idiot. So invested in this like story that I'm like so excited to listen to the next song. Just to hear the perspective. Was the other girl in love with him? Did she think it was a summer fling as well? I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. I'm not even joking. I cannot wait to listen to it. If the other song turns out to actually be Betty, I'm going to be so confused. But it shouldn't be, right?
Betty, I'm here on your doorstep and I planned it out for weeks now, but it's finally sinking in.
One of my favorite lines coming up here.
Right now is
I
the last
fucking
time
love this line.
dream about what happens when you see my face again.
I love that line so much. So brilliantly written.
I wanna do is make it up to you. So I showed up at your party.
Oh God, I love this song so much. Ah, it's such a beautiful roller coaster of heartbreak.
Yeah, I showed up at your party. Yeah, I showed up at your party. Will you have me? Will you love me? Will you kiss me on the porch?
How many of us right now are just imagining this like it's a Hollywood freaking movie? How many of us are just imagining this character James rocking up to the door, knocking on it, there's a party going on, maybe some of Betty's friends answer the door and they look around, they see Betty making her way through the crowd, realizing who it is at the door. Like, how many of us are fucking imagining that? It's incredible! Incredible! Her writing and we're there. It's like, I don't feel like I'm listening to a song. I don't feel like I'm watching a lyric video. I feel like I've sat down with a big pot of popcorn in front of me and I'm watching a fucking movie.
Party, will you have me? Will
It's
you
incredible.
love me? Will you kiss me on the porch in front of all your stupid friends? If you kiss me, will it be just like I dreamed it? Will it patch your broken wings? I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. Standing in your cardigan,
The Cardigan! The Cardigan!
kissing in my cardigan.
The Cardigan!
Stopped at a street light, you know I miss you.
There you go. I feel like maybe Betty and then Cardigan would have been like the better way around because of how those last lyrics really tie in Cardigan and really like cement who it is. But because I've already heard Betty before, I wanted to chuck it in the middle. I thought it'd be a better middle song because I've heard Betty like multiple times before. What I find crazy is I know, I would say, most of the words to Betty off by heart. I've heard it twice. I've heard it twice. How the hell is that possible? Oh no, my voice is going again. Damn it, Taylor, stop making me yell. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm not counting this as crying. Even though I am technically crying, I'm not counting it as crying. This is a different kind of cry. This is an excited one. Like, I love that. I love that. Even because like I don't listen to any extra songs behind the scenes. I keep all my reactions here on YouTube, so I don't like listen to any songs behind the scenes. How do I word this? My like you guys already know this. I've mentioned it multiple times. When I do reactions to anything, if I'm introduced to a new artist or anything like that, I want this channel to be people being able to see a genuine journey, like a progression of someone into like someone else. Does that make sense? So for example, with Taylor, my first reaction on YouTube, you can all see someone who didn't know who Taylor was, didn't know her music, and had an idea of who he thought she was, right? You can all see that person, and you can see that reaction. You can go on the playlist, you can follow the playlist from that all the way through to now, and there's no behind the scenes extras, which means you will get to see the actual jumps in my opinions, in my attitude, in my love, and you get to see that entire progression here on YouTube. Because I don't do any extra behind the scenes stuff. I'm not watching stuff. I'm not like, I may watch like a little clip here and there, but I don't do anything to do with music. And what I mean by that is, for example, today I watched a TikTok on Taylor, which was literally 4 different times that she says, thank you for saying that, right? Thank you for saying that, right? That's what she says. When like, and it was like showing how she just said, like, that's still what she says, like, after the years, and I thought that was adorable. That's an example of like something I might see behind the scenes. But I won't listen to any music. I won't watch any music videos, any live performances, nothing like that. No documentaries, nothing. I keep it all genuine. So when anyone goes, G.O.T, Luke, this is his Taylor Swift journey, they can literally click on the first reaction, follow it all the way through to now, watching it right now, and they get to see the genuine journey. And they can see my attitude change. And it's the same with every artist I've ever done. When we did with BTS, it was the same. Even now, even to this day, I still don't react to stuff behind the scenes when it comes to BTS after like 240 videos. Because I want people to be able to experience a genuine reactions journey. An open-minded person reacting to this stuff and experiencing music genuinely. Whether or not that is a journey into me not liking someone, or not like enjoying it, or it not being for me. Because if I don't like stuff, I will say it. Or whether that is a journey of me falling in love with someone. As does seem to be the case with Taylor. God. My throat's still getting there. But we'll get there. One day at a time. Oh, I see Betty with like a completely new appreciation now. And I like completely new. I am so curious to see this next one. So curious. The third girl? Second girl? The third person? The point of the triangle? Wait. There's 3 points on a triangle. Forget I said that. Just realized how stupid that was. It's fine. I'm going to blame it on me still being a little bit ill. Right. Let's jump into Taylor Swift. The final point on the triangle. August. This one I am so curious about. I am so curious.
Salt air
Again!
and the rust on your door.
It's so different.
Never needed anything more.
If no one told me that these weren't from 3 different perspectives, the way I would have matched them all is by how the song sounds. Every song has sounded so different. Do I sound like an idiot saying that? But I honestly just assumed that the other 2 were going to sound closely to Betty. Like it almost was like a 50-minute song they chopped up into 3 bits. That's honestly what I thought it was going to be. I had no idea they'd all sound so different.
Needed anything more or whispers of are you sure? Never have I ever before. But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time.
Wait, I've heard this.
'Cause it was never mine.
I've heard this.
And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. August slipped away like a bottle of wine. 'Cause you were never mine.
I've heard this. Where have I heard this before? I've heard this one. I recognize it. Have we reacted to a live version of this? Was this part of the Eras tour? I've heard this.
You're back
Have I heard Cardigan as well then? Do I just not remember it?
beneath the sun. Wishing I could write my name on it. Will you call when you're back at school? I remember thinking I had you, but I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time. 'Cause it was never mine.
Is August the month that they spent together?
And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. August sipped away like a bottle of wine. 'cause you were never mine.
What a beautiful song. This song has a real, I know I'm going to sound like an idiot saying this, but it has a real summer feel to it. And the song is called August, so go figure, but it really does. Like, I find it weird how this song, again, that is sad, because I wasn't sure how this girl was going to feel. I don't know if her name is August or if it's just supposed to be about the month. Maybe it's both, and if it is, then that's brilliant. But for me, it's like I can imagine just sitting outside in the sun, feeling like the warmth of the air and like a cool breeze, and just like eyes closed with this song playing and just feeling the summer air around me. And because this song suits like a moment like that, maybe you're by like a lake or a river or something, and it suits that. But at the same time, that's the happy moment, and the song isn't a happy song. It's incredible how she balances those contradictions. Oh my word! Oh my word, Taylor, that was beautiful. That high note there. I'm starting, because I've heard August. I know I've heard this one before. I'm starting to worry if I have actually heard Cardigan now. If I have heard it, I do apologize. I didn't remember it at all. So if I have, I completely apologize. Because now I'm like, if I've heard Betty and I've heard August, have I heard Cardigan? Maybe? But I didn't think I had. But my word. Reacting to these songs and focusing on the lyrics and realizing the triangle and hearing the different perspectives and emotions of every single person. This is just some of the best writing I've ever seen in music. Some of the best storytelling I've seen in music. This is fucking amazing. And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. I love this chorus. Like a bottle of wine. 'Cause you were never mine. I love the lower tone on Taylor's voice when she says, 'cause you were never mine. And I love that 'cause I and like high note she does in the I there. Like really love how like it changes tone. So like swiftly. Remember when I pulled up and said get in the car and then cancel my plans just in case you call. Back when I was living for the hope of it all, for the hope of it all. Meet me behind the mall. This James guy sounds like just like ultimate Chad. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This song, the guitar work, the vocals, the softness of it, and do you know what else? The spaces in between her lines where it's like 10 to 15 seconds where she doesn't even say anything, and how that like builds this atmosphere and emotion. Fucking hell, Taylor's a musical genius. Oh, that drop! Beautiful song. What a beautiful song. Oh. Taylor is has Taylor written a book? Has she ever written a book? I'd read a book by her. It doesn't even, like, I don't mean like a biography. I just mean like a book. I actually mean just like a freaking like novel, you know, just like any kind of story. Someone with this kind of ability to tell stories this incredibly through music, where you are limited by how you can tell a story. I would love to just like watch a movie by her, read a book by her. Just her imagination seems completely incredible, and I feel like that really bleeds through into her songs. And like I said, you're limited with the constraints of a song. You know, it has to sound like a song. Although then again, I feel like Taylor's reply to that might be like, well, check out All Too Well. That at times doesn't even feel like a song. It feels like I'm literally watching an episode of a TV show or something. It's incredibly well flushed out. I love this so much. I love so much about this. Where do I even begin? I love that we have 3 songs, completely different songs from different perspectives, but all around the same story. So somehow we're being told the same story 3 times, and yet every time we hear the story, it feels like we're hearing the story for the first time, because the perspective has shifted, and therefore the story feels new, which is crazy because it's the same story. But when you hear it from a different perspective, it can either sometimes sound like, for example, I feel like this is going to be a pretty good example. You know, when like we were younger, and you'd either be at a party, you'd be doing something, your friends go off and they come back. You could be at school or anything like that. They come back, like 4 of your friends come back, and something crazy just happened, and they have a story to tell, right? And you're like, oh, well, what was the story? And one of your friends tells you the story. And then later on that day, maybe your other friend tells you the same story. And 9 times out of 10, it's the same story. You're just hearing it twice. 2 different perspectives, but you've heard the same story twice. It doesn't feel any different. You know what I mean? This is an example of how brilliant it can be. Not what I just said. And what I mean by that is Taylor somehow tells us the same story twice, but it feels completely new. You know, it like the same story, completely new. And you can have the same story from 2 different perspectives, and it feels like the same story. But that's not what we got with Taylor. And that technique, that brilliance in being able to do that, is crazy. And I think that's why I went into this assuming that both of these songs, August and Cardigan, were going to sound like Betty and have the same sort of style and country-esque sort of sound that Betty has, because in my head I was like, we're going to be told the same story, and we were, and we weren't. It is just like it is a true masterclass and showcase of absolute lyrical brilliance and strong song arrangement and composition brilliance here. It really is. The level of talent to be able to do something like this is crazy. I can imagine maybe people who aren't fans of Taylor or from the outside looking in or anything like that might see this as like, oh, what do you mean it's amazing? Like, it's just 3 different songs. Yeah, it isn't though. There's like a real specialness to these 3 songs. And the other thing, the fact that they were all so different, sounded so different. Again, we're hearing the same story, but completely different. It's amazing how someone could not even know that they are related. So, like, you could show this to someone who doesn't know who Taylor is. Show all these songs back to back, and they'd have no idea they were related, unless they were, like, properly listening to all the lyrics on the first listen, which, let's be honest, most of us don't, right? Maybe some of us do. And then you could literally just say to them, did you know all those 3 songs are about the same story? That's a love triangle. And they go back and listen to it again, and everything just clicks. Jesus. How does this woman just keep impressing me? Oh man, I didn't properly cry at this reaction though, so that's a win, right? Which is again is weird. It's a sad story, you know. Our 3rd girl, we'll call her August for now. She's sad. She fell in love with James, you know. You could tell, and she was worried that she's just going to be a memory. She can see them being lost in the memory of August and he was never hers, but she was hoping, you know, she hoped for it. That hope that maybe he would be. And now she's just lost him, and that's sad. And everything Betty went through, you know, like her man doing this to her, and her just feeling like she said, like a cardigan that was like thrown away, and he made her feel special, and she just longed for that feeling again. That's sad. But I don't feel sad listening to these songs. I feel like oddly warming and comfortable, and yeah, and all the joys and potential and hopefulness of summer. So strange how a sad story can feel oddly optimistic and hopeful. It's incredible. That shouldn't work. It shouldn't. How does it work? Am I crazy? Am I the only one feeling like that? How does that actually work? Amazing. Anyway, what are we reacting to next Tuesday? Let me know in that comment section down below. I hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Have yourself an amazing day. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.